I want to welcome you to Utah's celebration of National Small Business Week 2021. I'm Marla Trolin, the Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration's SBA Utah District Office. As we observe National Small Business Week this year, I am keenly aware of the many challenges and threats of our small businesses have faced and continue to face because of COVID-19's impact on our country for the last 18 months. Small business owners have been forced to navigate regulatory closures and restrictions, supply chain disruptions, personnel shortages, and other threats to their livelihood and success. I have been encouraged by the resiliency and creativity of these businesses as they have adapted, modified, and pivoted to address this changing environment in which they find themselves. For example, restaurant owners have developed online apps for more streamlined ordering, added curbside pickup, and utilized delivery services and incorporated drive-through windows. The latest economic reports validated what we have known for years regarding Utah's business community and environment. That is, it is collaborative, industrious, innovative, and resilient. Utah has stayed in the spotlight and continues to get recognized as one of the strongest economies in the country and one of the best places to do business. In fact, even through COVID, Utah has held the #1 spot for the best economic outlook for 14 continuous years, has the highest growth percentage GDP in the nation, and is the fastest growing state in population. We continue to work together to find solutions and help businesses thrive despite the many challenges that arise. These collective efforts, along with the efforts of our amazing business owners, have resulted in the following national recognitions.
Hi, I'm Governor Spencer Cox. The U.S. Small Business Administration celebrates National Small Business Week that recognizes the critical contributions of America's entrepreneurs and small business owners. Utah small businesses represent about 46% of the state's private enterprises. They're the backbone of our leading economy. During the coronavirus pandemic, Utah small businesses have demonstrated extreme resilience and grit amid unique challenges. Overall, Utah ranks among the top performing states for businesses and careers, entrepreneurs, personal income growth, family prosperity, and quality of life. In Utah, we're focused on economic opportunity for all small business owners and entrepreneurs and the workers that they employ. Utah has garnered numerous national accolades for its economic prosperity, including the #1 best state for entrepreneurs according to Forbes and the nation's best economy according to U.S. News & World Report. Utah small businesses serve as a national model for resilience and innovation as they continue to adapt quickly to disruptions like the coronavirus pandemic. We appreciate the local Small Business Administration office and how it demonstrates its commitment to seeing small businesses succeed through various funding and loan programs. The future of Utah-based small businesses continues to be bright thanks to small business owners and entrepreneurs committed to making Utah the top performing economy in the nation. I want to thank all of our small businesses. You are the reason Utah is so great and continues to have one of the best economies in the nation.
My name is Braden. I am the owner of Smash 8 Rage Rooms here in Ogden and in Salt Lake, along with my wife Madison. We're from here in Utah and knew we wanted to settle down here. And so we came back here, started looking for locations, and that's when we met Sean over at the SBDC and got it rolling.
My name is Spencer Barkley. I'm the founder and CEO of Saveology. We provide digital financial planning and financial wellness service to employees. I started Saveology because I feel like I'm someone that doesn't like to see a problem left unsolved. And I feel like by creating a solution to it, I'm helping not just myself in creating a business, but I'm helping the broader community.
My name's Whitney Olson, and I am the owner of Sweet Haven Bakery out of Richfield, Utah. I established Sweet Haven Bakery in June of 2019. Cakes, cookies, cupcakes, you name it, I can do it. So I started doing wedding cakes many years ago, and it kind of expanded to more than just cakes. So now I do cookies and cupcakes, custom orders for birthday cakes, wedding cakes, anything in the baked goods area.
Hi, my name is Jamaica Trinament and I'm the founder of Hello Bulk Markets here in Salt Lake City. It is a refill store where we encourage our customers to bring their own containers from home rather than purchase packaging like you have to with pretty much everything at the grocery store. I also just never understood the point of paying for packaging. It just altogether drove me crazy enough that this seed was planted in my head and this concept percolated for years and years. And it's what you see today, which is a store based on refill and reuse.
My name is Matthew Perry. I'm with Sips Caffeine Bar and Drive-Thru. Ever since I was a kid and I could pronounce the word entrepreneur, I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to do my own thing and kind of direct my own destiny. So I decided to put together a business plan, and that's when Sips came together. I first was introduced to the SBDC at a Bountiful symposium that they had for small businesses in Bountiful. I contacted them and they said, yeah, come on over. And ever since then, I've been working with them kind of on a regular basis.
Hi, we are Doug and Leslie Webb. We own Simply Bliss Cafe. I had always smoked some meats and we had some friends tell us that it was good and we should combine them, and we did and went to our first event. Look at us now.
We've become friends with a lot of the SBDC members.
It's been a huge blessing to have the SBDC in our corner. I would say we've all kind of like meshed into a family. It's really cool. Good folks.
I wanted to start this business because of our passion for food. My husband and I have traveled many different places and found things that we like to eat. We love feeding people. We truly enjoy someone enjoying their meal, especially something that we made. Anytime that we have any concerns or questions, we have somewhere to go. I don't have to sit there and think every night, like, how am I going to do this, or what do I do? I can pick up the phone or email Joni.
My name is Pamela Mathern, and I just opened up a dog grooming business on Main Street. The groomer I used to work for moved out of town, and I really enjoy working with the animals. I get to work with dogs and cats and lizards and goats and ferrets and rabbits. I had a lot of ideas, but I didn't know how to put them down on paper or how to actually get them growing. The best advice they gave me was not to give up. So just keep plugging away, and if you get stuck, it's okay. Just keep trying and ask questions and go to them anytime I needed help.
Sure, my name is Jeff Compass. I work as the CEO for Contact Climbing. A number of years ago, Jenny and I had saved up some money. We were going to go on a vacation for our anniversary. And she said, I don't want to do anything like where I have to go sit on the beach or whatever. Why don't we go to St. George and learn how to rock climb? And so we did, and that was life-changing for us.
There really is no sort of community hub for the outdoors types. And so I was really excited to be able to provide a space for those people to be able to come together, feel comfortable, meet new people, find new climbing partners, and hopefully find a place where they can sort of relax and be happy and feel accepted.
This is the Full Circle Wellness Center. We are kind of the hub for holistic practitioners in our area. We have anything from massage therapy to
energy work, hypnotherapy, nutritional therapy, the hot spots, infrared sauna.
Anything wellness related. The startup, I don't think would have been possible without the SBDC.
Yeah. Just knowing we have a cheerleader and support if we do have questions. So on behalf of Full Circle Wellness Center, me and Jess would like to thank the SBDC.
I'm Angie Johansson, a co-owner of Alloyed Solutions, and we started the business back in 2013. I've managed the Carbon County Airport for a long time. My husband has engineering background, and so we designed and patented an aircraft recovery dolly. The knowledge that the SBDC gives us to reach out to other manufacturers and other people in our community is invaluable information. Without the SBDC, our company would not have been able to grow into where we are today.
Well, I'm Wayne Justice. My son Daniel and my wife Kim were the owners of Una Packing Company.
We make salamis, summer sausages, jerkies, bacon, ham. I thought it'd be a fun opportunity. I've always wanted to work for myself. I just wanted to be able to be my own boss, and so when I came down and checked the place out and Thought it'd be a great opportunity for me and a good place to live for my girls.
Because of my past experience with SBDC, I could look at this business and it was easy to put together a business plan and know that it was going to work. We were going to be profitable.
My name is Stacey Jones. I'm a marriage and family therapist. So BrainSculpt is it's a home-based app that helps calm anxiety and enhance positive imagery. So within BrainSculpt, there's a BrainSculpt Calm, and the Calm is just the wearable piece where you put it on when you're doing dishes, when you're doing any other type of activity. It just helps kind of calm your brain down in real time. And then the Mind Spa is where we're focused on doing those meditative exercises that are synced with the bilateral stimulation to enhance the calm and enhance the positive imagery. When we don't feel alone in our struggles, our ability to manage those struggles is exponentially stronger.
Despite these acknowledgments and favorable conditions, I know this last year and a half has been extremely difficult for many of our small businesses. Nearly all industries were negatively impacted, including our tourism, hospitality, and entertainment sectors. Most of our communities felt the pain, whether urban, rural, minority-owned, women-owned, for-profit, or nonprofit. Our office, the SBA Utah District Office, worked hard to ensure that COVID relief assistance, legislated and funded by Congress, was available to all Utah small businesses. It was important to our SBA team to make sure that information and resources were available throughout the state so all eligible businesses could have access to this support.
One of our biggest months of sales is March. That's when we have our single ticket sales. And we were expecting to do $500,000 to $750,000 in sales just that month. And to have it go down to zero, it was a trying time.
As soon as COVID hit, our business pretty much stopped overnight.
You can imagine being in the event industry in a 48-hour period. We were left with probably 20% revenue of just regular business that was coming through.
3 days into our peak season, we were basically restricted on the services that we could offer. We literally toggled overnight from a full-service restaurant with sit-down location, full-service bakery, and breakfast and lunch options to a grocery store, which none of us had any experience with. The first 2.5, 3 months, we saw a 75% decrease in business operations.
We depend on ticket sales. So once the announcement started coming and we were trying to postpone and postpone and postpone, and then finally that day that we had to cancel, it was devastating.
March 18th is when we did have to close our doors at Cliffside Restaurant. The statewide mandate from the governor here in Utah was we were closing restaurants.
It was really difficult for somebody to tell us, you can't open. We can't survive without people, and if you take people out of our equation, we're stuck. We don't really have anything to operate with. We don't have employees to work with. We don't have employees to feed.
We did have to lay off the majority of our restaurant staff.
When the COVID first hit, we had a lot of nervous subcontractors and a lot of nervous employees, and there were a lot of concerns about being employed, that we were able to finish the project.
We were very concerned when this all started that we were going to lose everyone.
We watched the news quite a bit to see what was happening. We had heard that there might be some assistance.
The SBA has been so critical for us. When our family purchased this property and renovated it to reopen, the SBA was part of the funding that we received.
We've worked with the SBA for years, and I think one thing that's important for businesses is to have that relationship with the SBA prior to bad things happening. We've had a 20-plus year relationship with the SBA, and when this happened, we were able to call our local office, talk to them about our options.
We initially applied for the payroll protection, and that was very beneficial and helpful as we were very slow and we wanted to retain our employees.
Our mortgage came through an SBA loan, so we've had a long-time relationship with the SBA. So when we heard that the SBA would be administering these loans, we were happy, and we contacted the bank that we work with. You know, the big worry in this type of situation is, did I forget to dot an I or cross a T, and what happens if our application is thrown out for some technicality? But I contacted the Utah SBA, and they were able to show to me that my application was in the queue and that I'd done everything right and that everything was going to be okay. So they were super supportive and really helpful to me during that key moment when we just weren't sure how things were going to evolve or how long it was going to take.
The SBA moved quickly with their 6-month deferral of our payments. That was so huge for us. The payroll protection program that we also were lucky enough to receive through the CARES Act. As soon as we received that funding, for the most part, all our employees were able to come back.
We're very dependent on having our doors open, and when they were closed, no fault of our own, that PPP loan that we received was a lifesaver.
We managed, thanks to the SBA loan, to stay relevant and stay open. We were in that first PPP tranche of loans, and we succeeded in getting the loan that was necessary to keep us going. We managed to get everybody back, and that really was the lifeblood of what enabled us to get from where we were last year to where we are this year. And I don't think we would have made it if it hadn't been for that loan from the SBA.
We've utilized the resources for everything for us in planning business decisions and growing our opportunities. And in 2020, it became that much more of a vital resource because we needed to quickly navigate all of the regulations, the CARES Act instructions, the PPP loans and EIDL loans, and all of the resources that were coming forth. And it was critical for us to use our local office here.
When the PPP was offered to us as a solution to keep our employees happy, we jumped on that. Our local bank that we use walked us through the process, and we got it on the second round. Literally hundreds of employees of different contractors that we use to do this project, and they were able to come to work and get a paycheck and feed their families.
We gained a bunch of opportunity in small grants and regional loans through resources that were provided with the local SBA, things that we may not have known about. The EIDL loans were the process that seemed to take a little longer, and that was critical in our case in working with our local community at the SBA because they were the ones who kept the schedule with us. They were the ones who communicated how that process was going to go forward.
They were very supportive, and then once the money had been distributed and we were carrying on, they came to visit to see how it was going, and I think they were really interested in our feedback and how it worked. And really the key point was that we didn't have to put people on unemployment and then somehow try to hire them back.
Their attention to us and helping us want to be successful in navigating the various funding opportunities that will help us stay in business has been wonderful. And because of the support that we're getting through the SBA and other organizations and the state and local officials, we feel like we're gonna have our best year ever.
We've slowed down for a couple of months, but now we're picking back up. The assistance from the SBA has been wonderful to keep us afloat during this, and so we're very grateful to all of those things that they did to help small businesses.
We are so grateful for the SBA and for the government entities that have stepped in and made programs available to small businesses like us to help us weather storms like this pandemic.
We definitely wouldn't be here today without that cushion, without a little extra from the SBA to help us kind of float and get through paying our bills, paying our rent.
These businesses really are the backbone of most communities. Starting your own business is not easy, but those pieces of support that you get from SBA can really make the difference in someone's life so they can become a business owner.
With government assistance, this is when you really need it, is in times like this, and we're very thankful for the assistance the SBA has provided our businesses.
The most popular SBA COVID assistance program for small businesses was the Paycheck Protection Program. The PPP was designed to help small businesses keep their employees on the payroll while they weathered the health-mandated closures and worked to adjust their business models for the new reality. The PPP was originally created under the CARES Act with $349 billion in funding. The program was so popular that the funding was exhausted in 2 weeks. The program received an additional $602 billion under subsequent legislative acts of Congress. Through the PPP program in the state of Utah, our office, along with over 500 participating lenders, approved almost 85,000 PPP loans amounting to over $7 billion. Of that amount, nearly 15,000 loans for almost $1 billion went to small businesses in rural Utah. During the first phase of PPP, Utah was one of the top 2 states in the country in terms of payroll penetration. Once the pandemic was declared an economic national disaster in March 2020, businesses could also apply for SBA's long-standing economic injury disaster loans. The CARES Act added $10 billion to the EIDL program, which, like the PPP, quickly ran out of funds. An additional $65 billion was put into the program by subsequent legislation. Utah businesses received more than 23,000 loans for over $1.7 billion. In addition to the PPP and EIDL programs, Congress allocated funding for new SBA programs targeting specific industries. The first program, the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, provided SBA with $15 billion to award grants to live venue operators, theater producers, live performing arts organizations, museums, movie theaters, and talent representatives. An additional $1.3 billion was subsequently appropriated to the program. In Utah, SBA has provided funding through the SVOG to 106 businesses, amounting to more than $126 million. The second program was the Restaurant Revitalization Fund for $28.5 billion and allowed SBA to provide support to restaurants, food trucks, caterers, bakers, bars, and others in the food and beverage industries. Of this appropriated amount, over $116 million went to 468 Utah small businesses.
Small businesses have long been the backbone of Utah's economy. The COVID-19 pandemic is unlike anything we've faced before, and I know that many of you have faced greater hardships over this past year and a half. While Utah is now seeing an encouraging economic outlook with the nation's most diverse economy, one of the lowest unemployment rates, and a skilled workforce, many small businesses are still facing challenges because of the pandemic. Through state and federal programs like the PPP program, many businesses have been able to stay afloat and keep Utahns employed. The resilience of our state's small businesses has been impressive. Small businesses are vital to the livelihood of our communities. As you navigate the weeks and months ahead, I look forward to our continued work together to deal with the challenges of the COVID pandemic. My door will always be open to you, and I hope you'll call on me if me or my staff can be of help to you. Thank you for all that you do for our great state.
SBA's COVID relief programs would not have been a success without the customer service provided by my staff and our community partners. The district office team fielded thousands of calls and emails from businesses and partners who needed help understanding and accessing SBA's economic relief programs. Before the PPP program kicked off, I worked with the World Trade Center Utah in setting up a rapid response team of more than 50 volunteers to efficiently answer thousands of inquiries from our small businesses. Our lenders spent evenings and weekends handling the onslaught of PPP applications for their struggling small business customers. All in all, SBA's COVID relief programs provided over $9 billion in support to Utah small businesses when it was desperately needed. I have heard from many of these small businesses that they would not have survived without the help. I had the opportunity to visit some and see firsthand the challenges they were facing and the ingenuity they were employing to overcome those challenges. I have been impressed by the resiliency and creativity of these businesses as they have adapted to a constantly changing environment. Although there has been a heavy focus on COVID relief over the past year and a half, The SBA Utah District Office has seen a significant volume in the state with its traditional SBA funding. Utah businesses took advantage of our lower interest rates and our reduced guarantee fees made available by the agency. During fiscal year 2020, the SBA lent more to Utah businesses through its traditional funding than it did the year prior, with loans totaling $626 million. Our certified development companies made a record number of 504 loans. In addition, our disadvantaged 8A firms accessed over $400 million in contracts. To put things in perspective, in the last fiscal year, SBA made or guaranteed more loans in the state than in the previous 55 years combined. SBA provided an additional $2.3 million in funding to our resource partners in Utah, the Small Business Development Center Network and the Women's Business Centers. Funds were and still are being used to enhance resources to counsel and assist small businesses struggling to keep their doors open. We have continued to collaborate with the World Trade Center Utah, and as a result of our joint efforts, SBA funding for the STEP grant administered by the World Trade Center has more than tripled to over $1 million.
Hello, I'm Anne-Marie Wallace, a champion of women business owners here in Utah. I direct the Women's Business Center of Utah, a public nonprofit which helps women build confidence, create opportunities, and experience success in business ownership. Women in every county are on our minds, on our calendars, and foremost in our vision to ensure Utah women start and grow their enterprises without barriers and receive world-class support and helpful resources to develop and use skills to run highly profitable businesses, provide well for their families, and actualize their entrepreneurial aspirations. Our team of talented and diverse women live throughout the state and are themselves business owners who plan and provide one-on-one advising and group training, promote Kiva loans, and the new Utah Women-Owned Business Directory. The center has education and assistance for any phase in business, in-person, virtual, and 24/7 on wbcutah.org. We collaborate with nearly every small business resource in the state, so you're going to end up in the right place with the best fit for your changing needs. Need to know how to register or license a business? Write a business plan, strategize your marketing, learn how to read and be proactive with financial management, figure out how to get into government contracting, or just clean up your business operations. We've got you covered. Did I mention that currently our services are free? Thanks so much to the SBA and you as a taxpayer. All small business owners are welcome to participate in our services to start a dream or build a legacy. What makes WBC Utah unique? Our women-focused services. We understand the unique talents, needs, challenges, and barriers that a woman, sister, wife, mother, aunt, and grandmother face as a business owner. Established women business owners wish they had known about our services back when they started. So women, those of you who want to avoid costly mistakes, find accurate information, and learn from a leader in business education, the Women's Business Center of Utah will provide you women-centered, hand-holding support where you feel safe and are taken seriously. We invite Utah women to reach out. Sign up at wbcutah.org and get started now.
Small businesses are the heart of the Utah economy. Each year, thousands of enterprising men and women put everything on the line to start a small business. In 2020, small businesses were devastated because of COVID-19. They pivoted so frequently to deal with state-mandated shutdowns, new customer needs, and pandemic protocols that many had to either close their doors or are struggling to survive. Fortunately, Utah Small Business Development Centers immediately went to work helping these small businesses obtain state and federal loans, grants, and relief programs. We were honored to help the thousands of small business owners who came to us for desperately needed assistance. Through our efforts, many small businesses received assistance that helped them through the COVID crisis. Not only were we able to help our clients obtain loans and grants, but we also helped them generate revenue and retain their employees. We even helped start new businesses and create new jobs. Through the dedicated efforts of our hardworking SBDC network, thousands of small businesses have been able to keep their doors open and their people employed. Here is what some of our clients said about our efforts in 2020.
I want to thank the Small Business Development Center for the many things they taught me about growing a business. I wouldn't have been able to start without their help. They really showed me how to market my products. I know that they'll be there to continue to advise and assist me, and I will always be appreciative of that. I wholeheartedly believe that small businesses bring so much to our communities. Organizations like the SBDC that provide support and encouragement to entrepreneurs are needed now more than ever. The SBDC has helped us every step of the way. We are very grateful for the guidance and assistance we have received from them during these very challenging times.
I'm proud to be part of the Small Business Development Centers. I'd like to thank our funding partners and host institutions for their support. The Utah Small Business Development Center is committed to leading the way and helping small business owners obtain the tools that they need. Thank
you. In conclusion, although we have contributed over $9 billion in funding for COVID relief, we are still in a critical time for our small businesses and need to continue to work together to help them recover from the economic hardships. We are fortunate in our state to have a cooperative mentality and an interwoven network of partners, resources, and communities that will see our entrepreneurs through any hardship. Our SBA Utah District Office is dedicated to continue working with our partners to assist small businesses in healing and returning to prosperity. We thank you for joining us for National Small Business Week 2021.